pledge to our flag. And I've asked my pastor, Terry Ferris, and the grandfather of our guest tonight that we're honored, to offer our invocation tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for our faith in you and our family and our friends. We're thankful for where we live, thankful for Wilmore, thankful, Lord, to be in America. Give thanks today for Harold Lee and the City Council. Bless them in all their decisions and discussions. And just thank you for your goodness. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hear your voice has got the ding. Before we begin with routine business of the night, I want to, we started over a year ago doing recognizing hometown heroes. People that had either grown up here or been here, a part of our community. Actually, I think you guys have got a couple kids we could recognize tonight, or maybe more than a couple. But one of those we're going to recognize tonight, and I told her to clean up a little bit, but I had no idea she would look this good for tonight. But thank you for coming. This is Abby Rexford, and if you don't mind standing up here so they can see how wonderful you look, and might help me a little bit, I don't know. Abby, in recognition of your outstanding achievement as a Division I student athlete, a pole vaulter of all things. I was a track and field coach at Asbury 50 years ago. I knew about that much about pole vaulting, but it's hard. An entrepreneur and a community leader. The City of Wilmore proudly honors your dedication to academic excellence, athletic accomplishment as a collegiate pole vaulter at Wichita State University, and your commitment to serving others through leadership and mentorship. Your achievement brings distinction to our community and serves as an inspiration to future generations. Wilmore is proud to celebrate your success and recognize the positive impact you continue to make. Presented this 6th day, your hometown celebrates your accomplishment and wishes you continued success in your endeavors. This is our 150th year, so part of this is to recognize you tonight with our 150 coin. I'd also like to present to you America 250. This eagle was made for a salute to service event. There's only so many of these, and you have to select one of those.
Thank you.
And I'd like to also present on behalf of the City Council a key to the city. And if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about what your life is and what you're doing, and what that beautiful dress and crown represents to our community.
So as you can probably see, I'm Miss Wichita Asian Association, and you're probably wondering, how did a Wilmore girl get to Kansas? And so I was recruited as a Division I pole vaulter to represent Wilmore in the state of Kansas, but this past year, September, I decided to compete in the Miss Wichita Asian Festival pageant, and I thought, I'm an Asian in Wichita, why not? And so, little did I know, and if you asked me a year ago, I would be singing for y'all today, I would have said, you're crazy. And so, my journey started, and I got a title at the Miss Wichita Asian Festival pageant as Miss Wichita Asian Association, and so the next step was Miss Kansas. And for Miss Kansas in the Miss America system, you have to pick a platform to champion. So my platform was beyond the box, changing the game through mentorship because every child deserves a win. And I chose mentorship, one, because I chose beyond the box, because I was found inside a cardboard box in Margate, China, in front of police station gates. And without the mentors in my life that I found in Wilmore, the selfless parents and grandparents and family that adopt adopted me and mentored me and taught me that my worth was not defined by my beginning, showed me that I can do and I can accomplish my dreams. So I am accomplishing my dreams in Wichita. And so this past May/June, I got to stand on the Miss Kansas stage and share, hi guys, I was found in a box, but I was raised in Wilmore, Kentucky, and now I stand before you today in Wichita and in Kansas and ready to represent the state of Kansas. I did not end up winning Miss Kansas or earning the title Miss Kansas, but I did end up getting second runner-up, which is third place. And I was very blessed to get that. And I think at the end, the director of the pageant walked up to me and he said, Abby, how are you so joyful? You didn't win, you got third place. And I go, how did I lose? Because this girl last year didn't think about pageants before. I grew up not in the pageant industry at all. And through that, I've learned so much more. And I think it's so important to know where your worth is before you enter a secular industry like pageantry. And I'm glad I got to be a light for the Lord in that aspect. And I'm also glad I got to highlight the selflessness of my parents in this community and raising accomplished adults. So thank you, Mayor Rainwater, for all of this. And I'm so happy to represent Wilmore in Kansas and just know that my heart is always in Kentucky.
Counselor, if you'd like to join us, you're welcome. Let's do it. Come on, sister. Okay. Do our best. I think we just miss and go home.
We'll allow our guests and our friends to go have supper maybe. She's not happy.
I understand. And there's so much. It's okay.
Well, where did, oh, there's Devin. Devin, I've asked Devin to take a few moments to brief us on an event on next Tuesday, I think, 14th.
Oh, yes.
And what's happening there?
Well, as you may have heard, ginkgos are a big deal in Wilmore. And to celebrate that in arts and music and creativity, there'll be a fall festival, October 24, which we've talked about. The official ribbon cutting, though, at the ginkgo headquarters, but the festival grounds, which is the historic granary building, will be July 14, Tuesday at 11 a.m. And that's about 45 minutes. We'll wrap up right before the Mayor's Chamber of Commerce launch. So all are invited, and we'll give an overview of the festival, make a couple of announcements that are new in terms of programming and partnerships, and most exciting, announce the namesake of the Ginkgo Legacy and Light Award, which is a new annual award that will be presented to a regional philanthropist and supporter of various charities and arts programs. Thank you.
Just want to invite everyone to that. You may, things happen around this town, but last Sunday night was the 30th anniversary of the opening of the Free Methodist Church. It's hard to believe at that new location has been there 30 years. Been in Wilmore 60 years, but at that location. And so they had a celebration there, and just proud that as you come down 29, what you see as you enter Wilmore. The first item of business is the approval of the minutes of June 15. Those have been circulated to you. Are there any corrections to be noted?
Can we approve the minutes?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please indicate by aye. Aye. Thank you. We have, three items of second reading. Revision to section 7-1 or dot 1 of the City of Wilmore zoning ordinance related to amending the fee schedule, second reading. A text amendment, revision to the City of Wilmore zoning ordinance related to manufactured homes for compliance with KRS 100. And Jessamine County zoning ordinance section 3-.210, proposed revisions to the City of Wilmore zoning ordinance related to the 200-foot setback off of US 27, 29, and 68. All those are second readings. Christopher Montgomery is in the building. Are there any questions or discussion beyond the second reading? Just takes a motion if you want to combine those, it will be, you can approve those as a second reading of those three. Council Williams. Good.
Second.
Second. Is there any discussion on either of those three items? Question, all in favor, please indicate by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Under new business, ordinance 2026 -6, 7, and 8 pertains to the increased water and wastewater rates for the city, for High Bridge, and for Southeast County water rates. Lori has prepared those based on your budget that you approved. And it also takes 2 readings. Tonight it's introduced to you as a first reading.
So Lori, this, just to refresh our memory, this is the 5% increase in both the water and the sewer.
That's correct.
And we finished the year the red on the water this year. Is that what I read in that?
It looks like we're going to, of course, there's still a lot of work. Invoices are still coming in, and so I'm not certain, but it looks like it's gonna be in red this year.
I move we approve the ordinance 26, 6, 7, 8.
Those three pertain to water. So thank you, Jim. You have a motion before you for approval of first reading of ordinance 6, 7, 8. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there discussion of the motion for the first reading? All in favor, please indicate by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance 2026-9 is an ordinance to replace ordinance 2023-7, adopting and enacting a comprehensive pay plan for the non-elected city officers and employees of the city of Wilmore in accordance with KRS 83A.070, a first reading. Lori has prepared that for you, and you have that, I think, in front of you.
The ordinance itself is the same, the exhibit changed, we hadn't updated those ranges for 2 years. And in addition to that, we removed the Director of Utility and Public Works, which used to be, a job title here, we've eliminated that. Also eliminated Utility and Public Works Supervisor, Utility Supervisor, and Police Captain, and added Director of Utility, and then Director of Public Works, Distribution and Collection. So those are the changes to that.
this is just in case we publicize or position the ranges of the salaries, is that?
Yeah, the auditors had just told us a few years ago we needed a comp and pay plan, and so we created one, and then they said, as we give cost of living adjustments, we'll just have to tweak the exhibit with the ranges, and so we're doing that, but also we have made some changes. Utility department had done some restructuring, and so we just changed some titles also.
But everybody's currently within these ranges that are employed.
Yeah.
I move we approve ordinance 2069.
Second. Thank you. Is there discussion of the ordinance update?
Someone out of curiosity, and you may not be able to answer this, I mean, it seems like we're just defining the numbers that we're currently living within, and range there. But we had added a few and subtracted a few. Do you have a sense of whether or not our employee budget is about the same as it was before those changes, or below, or above?
It's probably about the same.
I think we have exactly the same number right now of employees.
And that's with no longer running garbage, of course.
So, just further discussion? All in favor of approval of the first reading of 2026-9, please indicate by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have a little surprise at the bottom, but not a surprise because we're gonna bring it to you. Chris Reeves and Jeff Marbley are here and can speak to some flood conditions, and some needs on River Road and at sewer plant. You speak there.
This is the exciting part. We get to talk about floods and damage. So you know we had flash flood last week that did some substantial damage to our river road that goes down to our river ponds. And also a new item, did some damage to our parking lot at the wastewater plant. There's the creek, the town branch. We have a passageway, this blacktop that parallels that creek. And the flood undermined that bank quite a bit. Jeff reached out to Hager Construction that does a lot of our road work, and they've come up with a plan to repair that driveway, if you will, in the bank with the rock baskets and sink them in to shore up the creek and also hold up the driveway. And that bid, it's out, is $16,450. The other damage was the river road, as we talked about. Did a lot of undercutting as well, a lot of destruction on that road. And that bid's come in at $27,000. I talked to Lori earlier today. We do have some RRD that will help pay for this. And I don't want to overspeak, but there's a slight chance that we also could receive some emergency funds from the state or the county. I don't know how much. This is still just an email type situation that we're getting documents and photographs of the damage to give to the county and also to the state. So I'm asking you if we could release the RRD funds for these two projects. The total would be $43,450.
The part on the town branch, what road is that?
Our new building at the wastewater plant. There's a kind of a driveway to the left, and our new building and the creek, there's a driveway in between. And it, probably about 50 feet, it undercut that bank quite a bit, where the blacktop's just hanging kind of free. Not the whole blacktop, about 3 feet of it, so.
And are both of them basically like our driveways, so they can't really be worked into public roads funding or something like that. It's not the state highway, it's off that, and the road down to the river is basically all road.
We've
Because
had-
it's an easement across Asbury Lane.
Right, we've had several conversations with engineers, and also as I was walking up the road with this neighbor, how can we improve this gravel driveway? And no one really has a better idea than just gravel and putting berms to help move the water off. We do have a spillway that is a concrete spillway, and that was undercut quite a bit by the 2 feet. It's just hanging in the air. So I think the fear is if we do concrete work down there, it could cause more damage and be more expensive to repair, is kind of the consensus.
I just wanted to make sure there was no other place that we could take funds from. It sounds, I mean, it's got to be done, as far as, I trust it has to get done. And did we have multiple bids, or do we not need multiple bids?
Hager kind of does the work on the River Road for us. They can hop on it tomorrow if, we just got to look there.
It is under, there's 2 projects, so it's under the bid limitations. And Hager has done that road multiple times and has a history with it.
They're familiar with it.
Yeah, and they've done the work. And I think this is, as the old say, the song Dire Straits. I think we're in an emergency situation where people's lives are at risk going to the river. You
I'm
can't.
tired of walking the hill.
We have to walk down right now, you can't drive there.
I bike it down some of those, but.
You have to.
I can only bike.
Right.
So I would like to ask the council to allow us to move forward and, in a sense, declare this an emergency and begin that work tomorrow. We just delayed, thank you, we delayed declaring an emergency and seeing if the council would, since we're meeting tonight, felt like it needed to come to board of council because of the amount that it was. So I appreciate you all always doing that.
Mayor, since, you need council approval for our RRD, I just wanted to make it known that there's
That's-
only like 37,000 available for our RRD. The rest would have to either come from utility budget or municipal road aid if it qualified. And then hopefully we would reimburse depending on if we got that reimbursement from the state.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that clarification. Was there a second to the motion? You had a motion. Who made the motion?
He's getting ready.
Andy did. Second. Okay. Is there further discussion of the motion? All in favor, please indicate by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all for running hard on this to get us
Thank you all.
to this point. The next item is the Parking Appeals Committee. We pushed that forward last meeting, but that's made up of Jeff Moberly, Wes Metcalf, Dwight Winter, Eric Walsh, and Denise Adams are the people that have agreed to serve on that. Hopefully, they don't have to meet, but if they do, that would be the committee that would hear an appeal on local initiative parking and violations. So that's the committee that we put before you, and ask the council if you would approve or ratify that group.
I move we approve the parking appeals.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All these little committees are eating up a lot of good people. We also have a new system for reporting code violation complaints, and I think that, you have that?
You will get copies of everybody?
Yes.
I think everybody has, it's just for your information of how you initiate those in your neighborhood or in your community. So that's what we're trying to do. We did meet with our attorney tonight on some code enforcement with 2 council members and 3 policemen and myself, and our clerk. And we're trying to clarify everything from cars to grass to all those things that, need to come under code violations. So that's just for a report to you.
Is this, something that can be filled out online?
Yes. It's just how people can initiate if they want to. Do we have any reports from the council?
I've got a question, just because a lot of folks have asked me about it, and I imagine you've asked other folks in the city council, after the flooding, and also, due to the role I'm with through the council with the natural resources of the bluegrass area development. And also, last year was asked to be part of a climate action committee, and just being aware of how weather is changing. The flooding that took place this last week, was worse than I've seen in town, and I'm sure that, I know my basement got hit, a lot of people's basements got hit. And the question that I've been asked is, didn't we just do that work that would solve that problem? And my answer is usually, my best answer is, that was primarily focused on improving our sewers, our sewer line through there. It had a stormwater impact, but that's about all my understanding goes. So
You answered correctly.
Oh, excellent, ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding,
So I guess I'm just asking, maybe some of the folks that are, that focus on our stormwater, especially as weather's changing and as we're seeing more flooding like this in our town. And that one, I've just never seen a river down Main Street. So if any of the specialists in the room could give comment to that, and also clarify what we did do and why that work still didn't, catch all that rain.
Chris or Jeff, do you want to answer a technical question, or, it was 2 different systems? One.
Yeah, it was 2 different systems. I think a lot of people today is still confused that we did a wastewater project. And we didn't, we did a sanitary project. It takes sanitary sewers, and in a perfect world, it doesn't take groundwater. But in an imperfect world, there's cracks and crevices and tree roots. So you probably did get more storm water because we got more rain, but it's definitely a storm water issue, not a sanitary issue.
If we had more surface water, that's probably a good sign.
Right.
That the system is working.
It's not getting into our.
It's not getting
sewer,
into those
and the
sewers.
sewer's not getting into.
Right, they're not.
So they're not supposed to mingle.
You had opened up the storm drain at some point.
Well, we had opened up the storm drain because we encountered some bad product, in front of, Solomon's
To
Port.
the left of Solomon's Port.
But that's when we put in a piece of pipe there to tunnel it back to the existing storm drain, because before we started doing that, it was just nothing.
Right.
It just, Mother Nature found its way back. So we did pipe that back, so, I mean, and I've said this 50 times, I'm sure the mayor has, I moved to Wilmore in '78, and I've seen more water in certain places, but I've never seen that much water in the city at one time. Is that a fair statement, I think?
Yes, sir. I have cousins that own the corner of Morrison and Lexington Avenue, and they said they saw that much water in the 70s came into their house. Steve Rainwater and Benny Rainwater on that, and they said this is only the 2nd time in the 60 years they've owned that property that it was at the same level. So it was on all parts of town.
Right.
Talbot was completely over the road, Kinlaw was to the road, so those retention dams were helping hold that water back. But, the mini part was floating, so that pipe was full that goes under the railroad, and,
I think the timing was awful, that it came right after that project, because everybody thinks that we did
Right.
something during the project. And we
Right.
didn't, we actually improved a lot
Right.
This just came after the fact.
Right, and I think we had an earlier storm this year that it seemed like it dealt
It handled
with.
it right.
It was much better,
A normal storm, yeah.
So I guess back to the climate action, committee I was on, and just recognizing the changes of our weather patterns is something that we should be thinking about proactively, because I think, you know, it seems pretty clear that the 100-year storms are going to be the 10-year storms. And just curious about what we can do to keep catching more stormwater.
Well, these two gentlemen, and James before, and I have met with our engineers, and they've given us this $20 to $80 million solve to the problem.
You can fix anything with enough
We
money.
can fix enough, yeah, we can fix it, but it's a major, I mean, we've got a 100-year-old system here, and we've got a 50-year-old water and sewer plants. You know, Leonard and I helped build the first sewer plant in Wilmore, but, we've built so much more, and there's so many more buildings.
And pavement.
And pavement, and water's not got anywhere to go, except to these drains, and Wilmore is a series of this. And you're not gonna change that, I mean, water's gonna sink its level. So until you can either make pools large enough to hold it back and retain it, you're gonna have to maintain it and do it and do something, but that's millions and millions and millions of dollars to fix it. But it's also, as other cities are, you take out properties that are in floodplains and you don't build back. And as we have mentioned, and I'm on TV, so I'll be careful, but many years ago, we tore down where my parents had a laundry, a business, and a dime store where Solomon's is in the grass area because it flooded. But a few years later, someone built a business right back in the same place. So there's a little more grass there, but not enough for all that's coming now from all the town. But the whole town drains to 2 pockets.
Yeah.
And until you can find more grass, you know, just like the college parking lot over there on your street going towards you, all that's now blacktop.
Right.
And that was all grass,
Yeah.
you know, just a few years
And
ago.
there's more than one way to build laptop.
Yeah, there is.
It's more expensive to do permeable, yeah.
Yeah. So, that problem's not going away, and is it worse? I've lived here 80 years, I've seen the same water. Not 80 years, I'm not quite that old. I've lived here a long time, about 20 at least. But I've seen this before, and we'll see it again, in the way Wilmore configures. I've been in the campground, when the dining hall down there, Adventure Serve, all that.
Oh, that was a big arc
That was
down
an
there
arc,
in
yeah,
water.
it was literally underwater
Yeah.
at the dining hall. So it's happened before, it will happen again.
I think one of the biggest things that we've worked really hard on, and you do the best you can, is to keep debris and keep drains clean. And I think we need to preach to the public the same thing, because you see people with all their grass clippings out.
I'm amazed how many people in Talbot mow their grass and throw it in the street.
And they go straight to the storm
And
drain.
it goes straight to blockage. And it's gotta be treated. You know, I'm amazed how many people, I mean, everywhere, not just Talbot, all
All over town.
over, all towns.
Every town, yeah.
You know, you turn that first mower and you go out in the street. And, you gotta treat that. I mean, that's going to your water and sewer plants, you know, ultimately. So, and it's going to blockage. So, well, we're preaching to the choir. You all know that.
Well, thank you for answering some of those questions and clarifying and,
Mayor,
Yes.
we can get the fire department some new rescue equipment. That'd be a lot cheaper than rebuilding all the
Josh, I thought you had to work tonight.
I slid in here on this one. You're just trying to take every opportunity.
You got to rescue some folks, did you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we made 2 water rescues.
We actually made real rescues.
Yeah.
Of people in Wilmore this time. Thankfully, we didn't have, you know, our sister county had 3 deaths. You know, so thankfully, no loss of life.
And Mr. Macy, I also think the rate of the rain was so exceptional. I think, and Christopher Montgomery might know specifically, but I think it's about 6¼ inches over 24 hours is a 100-year flood event in Kentucky. And I think there were parts of the county that got that much rain in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that is far, far worse than a 100-year flood, which is pretty much the design standard as I understand it. So, I mean, any system, no matter how well designed, can be overrun. I think that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it was very extreme and just had the right conditions of the amount of rain, and hopefully only our great-grandchildren 100 years from now will need to deal with it. But the science is telling us something different.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it could happen next week, and it may not happen again for another 20 years, so.
Just
Well,
as,
we're eating all the cows, so we can't blame it on the cows anymore. So we don't have any cows creating this.
So I was just gonna offer a point of clarification. The Kentucky Division of Water and FEMA is trying to move away from referring to it as a 100-year storm and as a 1% chance storm, as in there's a 1% chance per year of that type of storm. And part of the reason that they're moving towards that, the 100-year storm was always a 1% chance, but the way that it's worded makes it sound like it happens once every 100 years. When in fact it's a 1% chance each year that we will have storms of that magnitude.
If you were here in 1978, you saw the Kentucky River up to the bridge where you go across. You probably saw that. You were getting young, I know.
Houses floating down the river.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally up, lapping on the bridge.
Hybrid?
No. But that's the highest it's ever been in 78. Here, there was some 37, and I wasn't here either. 37 floods, the Louisville floods, Cincinnati floods, were the greatest, I guess, ever in Kentucky history, but,
The flooding that took place last year, it was, right at the bottom of Brooklyn Bridge. Because we went down to Brooklyn, we had to take our, it was right before we got our boat.
Yeah.
And we had to we went to the county fire department because they were overrun. And Wilmore Fire took one of their boats and went to Brooklyn and started pulling people out. So.
okay, any other reports of the council? Any reports from the staff? Beyond what you've heard? Anything from the floor? Yes, ma'am.
what,
I was wondering how our drinking water for Wilmore was affected. You know, I remember, it was very difficult when the flood when was that, last year?
That's when the pumps at the river.
Yeah, when everything had to be turned off
Yeah.
and then turned on again, but this didn't get close to that.
The way it's two different floods. Last year was more of the Kentucky River flood.
All
Yeah, this year, the river crested around about 21 feet, which is way below any problem for us.
That was not a
If you've
problem.
been down there, it kind of maybe got up to the first steps of our water towers, but yeah, the river wasn't a problem this time.
well, I was just gonna say, since the issue was brought up about people mowing grass into the street, what is best practice then? So that for obviously, but
mow in 1 or 2 times before
No, the
you
first
go
2
out.
strips, throw it in.
okay. So you don't have to bag everything, it's just a matter of,
No,
just
just
wanna
mow
make
inside.
sure so that our
I mean, it's
viewers.
the same mowing, I mean, you got it on your yard, the rest of your yard. Yeah, it's just turn your mower the other way.
Great.
And I don't know exactly what makes people motivated, I mean, it's in front of their houses.
Yeah,
you know.
just mow it. Just wanted to make sure
I
that
appreciate
folks
that,
watching
and
can
it's-
see.
You know, we're not trying to penalize people
Oh,
or
yeah.
smack their hands, but it hurts everyone.
Yeah.
Hurts the
I did it, I
system.
did for Dr. Ryle to put that in his newsletter.
Yeah.
Has it been there? I haven't seen it. I usually read
But
it.
just as a
Reminder.
PSA for folks, that way then maybe more folks will stop doing that and we can help solve a little bit.
I was kind of shocked when we first moved into West Main Street. The neighbors had mowed, and then they took the blower and blew it onto the street. I couldn't believe it. In Germany, the police would have been at their house in no time.
Need a little more Germany sometimes. Okay, anything else? And I appreciate you running that or maybe editorializing that.
Yeah, yeah.
But we need that help. Thank you all. Oh, by the way, each of you have a set of coins from the salute to service. Happy to present to you.
Thank you.